All right, Alex, in this video, we're going to address number one, how you've improved on the one thing that we talked about in our last video. And then we're going to identify how you can build off of that improvement to continue to move in the right direction in terms of your pitching mechanics. And so on the left-hand side, this is the video that we took on May 8th. And the right-hand side, this is Randy Johnson. And the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is mark a line behind the back foot, the back knee, the back hip, and a line where your eyes are at. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with Randy Johnson here. Back foot, knee, and hip, and then the eyes. And the reason that we're doing this is because we want to measure how the pitcher shifts his weight towards home plate before he breaks his hands, because one of the things that we want to do to create momentum is get that weight shifted before we break the hands. And you're going to see here with Randy Johnson, he lifts up the knee, and at the top of his knee lift, he's in control, he's in balance, his head's over his belly button, and already at this point, you can see how that back leg is driving towards home plate, and that back hip is driving, and he continues to show his rear end towards home plate, and this is going to help him create momentum. And then you're going to notice as he continues to thrust towards home plate and push off that back leg, there's where he separates his hands. And at this hand separation position, take a look at the back leg. Notice how it's pushing off towards home plate. Look at the angle that it's created. And look at the distance from the original line where his back knee is to now. Look at the distance from his back hip to where it's at now when he breaks his hands. And notice how his eyes have traveled further forward towards home plate as well. All of these things are very efficient and powerful moves that's going to help a pitcher create momentum towards the target. And when we create momentum, number one, we're going to improve our velocity. Number two, it's going to allow us to throw free and easy, which means we're not going to put a lot of stress on our arm. Now, in the last video, when we looked at you, we noticed that when you lifted your knee here, one of the problems was that, number one, your back knee actually went backwards behind this original green line, whereas with Randy Johnson in this same position, when he gets to the top of his knee lift, you can see a dramatic difference in where his back leg is at. All right, the next thing you're going to notice as you continue to track forward into your hand separation, your body and your head actually go down. And that's not an efficient move. This going down, shrinking towards the ground, doesn't get us any further towards home plate. And as a result, that's a wasted move. Instead, we want to look like this, working and traveling towards home plate when we get into our handbrake position. Because all of this momentum is directed towards home plate as opposed to being directed towards the ground. And so this is the right move, and we talked about this in our last video. Okay, you can see a significant difference in his body position compared to yours. And so, with that in mind, what I wanted to do next is pull up your most recent video from June 2nd. And we're going to notice an improvement with the back leg drive. It's not a dramatic improvement, but it's a step in the right direction, which is really exciting to me. It shows me that you're a quick learner. So we're going to go ahead and flip you over here. Right hand side is the new video. So we'll mark up the back foot, knee, hip, and the eyes, and we'll do the same thing in the old video. And we're going to take a look at what you look like first when you get to the top of your knee lift. So in the old video, top of your knee lift's here. Notice how your back knee, this is a no-no, actually travels backwards. In the new video, get you to the top of your knee lift. Right there. Even though you haven't created a lot of separation, you're in a better position. Because now, instead of going back of that original green line, at least it's staying on the inside. So that's a good thing. As we go back to the left video, and we take a look at what you look like when you break your hands, remember here you were shrinking down, making an inefficient move this way instead of going forward. In contrast, in this video, as you break your hands, you can see that your eyes have traveled forward and not so much down. So that's a nice improvement, because now we're directing energy efficiently towards our target. And you can see here that leg drive, now we're starting to get some separation from that back line, whereas before there was zero separation. So that's good. And then if we go ahead and pull up Randy Johnson at this same position, you're going to see that you're a little bit closer to where you need to be. Take a look right here. As he gets there and he separates his hands, you can see that now we're a little bit closer. We're doing the types of things that we need to do, but we can build off of this. And so that's what I want to talk about next. So let's take a look in the next video at how you can continue to improve your leg drive, and we'll go from there.